All right. I want to thank everybody for being here. We have a very cool interview tonight. This is After the Burn. Um, for those new to the series, listen, for the first 8 years, I did videos and reviewed products and ate peppers and from people, and you've heard their names for years, but these are people you haven't necessarily met in person. And tonight we've got a great one. My guest tonight is Matthew Arthur. Now, before I bring him on, I want to first say hello to everybody that's in the chat. So give me just a sec here. Then we're going to tell you a little bit about Matthew before we start asking questions. We have Atomica Tom. Thanks for being here. I have my wrenches, Bizzle and Brock Bandy and Mr. Keith Lego. Thank you guys for being here. We have Burn Daily. We've got Clayton Collins, Galactic Yachts. Had and Kit from Harvest 912. Sporting my Harvest 912 mug. Jane Aldridge, Just Me Being Me. Mischief Managed, Noah Wright, Pepper Poppy, Robert, Turk Sax Peppers, and Peg City Peppers. I hope I'm listen, a lot of people don't end up coming into this that I didn't say hello to, but I'll do that again at the conclusion of the video. So here's the deal. I'm cramping up a storm. The video I did today, I you know what? I did a couple today and I didn't prep enough, and now I am suffering. But I'm going to soldier through it. My quest really is about all things hot, but really it's been to find the hottest pepper in the world. And, the very, very first year, there was a pepper that was, the Guinness Book at the time. And I had hotter peppers my first season of Chase the Heat than that particular pepper, which ruffled the feathers of people in that camp. But every year I've been eating hotter peppers and hotter peppers. And, up until this past year, the hottest pepper that I had ever consumed was a chocolate primatale. And it is just a beast of a pepper. And it was one of those peppers. I don't know if some people may have the experience if you're used to like jalapeno, all right? And then one day you eat a ghost pepper. You're instantly like, wow, is that just so much hotter than what I was used to? Well, several peppers have done that to me. The one that used to be the Guinness record, that one used to do it to me. Like the first time I ate one of those, I was like, wow, that's different. When I ate the chocolate primatale, the same thing happened. I was like, wow, we got something special there. And then this past year, I get a pepper from Mr. Matthew Arthur. Now, he created the Warthog, which is just, I'm going to bring him on right now. I am very, very excited to have him here. He's a really great guy. He created the Wartryx. In the pepper community, the man is a legend. And I really want to thank him for being here. But right now, please, everybody, welcome Mr. Matthew Arthur.
Hello.
There you are, sir. Thank you. I know you're a busy dude. I think people don't realize how busy farmers, people that grow, are. And it's a busy, busy thing. It's a full-time job. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm better than I deserve, Matthew. I'm a very fortunate guy. I really am. Thank you for being here. This is really a thrill. And a lot of people, you've seen Scary Peppers. If you ever see the letters MA after a pepper or before a pepper, hang on. It's just the way it is. It's just, it's one of those things. It's very, very cool. So I got some questions for you, Matthew.
Okay.
And we're going to jump right into it. First of all, we're going to get to the Warthog in a minute, but I want some background stuff I want from you. What was the first pepper you ever grew, and when was that?
It was a chili pin over in England when I was 8.
8 years old in England. So you've been growing pods. Now, if I may ask, I'm a 58-year-old dude. How old are you?
I'm 60.
Good Lord, dude. I'm doing something wrong. You're doing something right, man. You look amazing. That's awesome. So you've been growing peppers for a really, really, really long time. Now, so you grew them. Now, when did you come to America?
We came back to the States when I was 13.
I got you.
Oh.
All right, so I got we're going to jump into the really hot stuff now, because the first pepper that I got from you that really got my attention was the Wartryx. Just a trippy pepper. Tell me a little bit about the Wartryx, when you created it, and a little bit about that.
The Wartryx, I created that when I worked at Sunny Border. It was a big nursery up in Connecticut. It's been a while. They went out of business since. I did the Wartryx there, the Daisy Cutter there, Comstock Purples there, Purple UFOs there, and there was a few others.
Very, very cool. Now, when did you first create the Warthog?
The Warthog, probably about 7 years ago. It's been 7 years.
Because I've eaten some hot pepper. I've eaten a couple on the channel. I mean, a few at least. And I've never eaten anything like that. Real quick, I got some funny pictures I want to show you. For anybody who doesn't know, the Warthog is it's a cross between a 7-pot Primo and the Wartryx. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
All right. So now Tad from Harvest 912 and 8, when here's one of the first reactions of Tad. Now, if you may not be able to tell from that, but if you look real close, you can sort of see his soul leaving. He's thinking about his soul leaving his body right there. And then it gets a little worse right there. And if you get a zoom in on his face, that's what his face was doing. If you close, I mean, he was like looking at seeing a different realm. It is a spooky hot pepper. I knew that, the first one that this thumbnail will just be ingrained in my head. That was the one that really got my attention. It was wicked hot. And I had a bunch of them that were really hot. But then this is the video from the hottest pepper. Now, that's a Warthog phenotype 1, correct, Matthew?
Uh-huh.
And just so you know, Taz, I'm not immune to it. This is what it did to me. I was struggling there. I'm not joking you. I was in trouble. Here's the thing about the Warthog. When you sent me that box, Matthew, you didn't say, listen, man, there was no note saying you got a Lulu here. Did you know how hot that thing was? Did you have an idea how hot that was?
By my hands, from de-seeding the peppers.
And that's really how you judge it?
That's how I judge it. If they go through the blue gloves, yeah, you got a hot pepper.
Matthew, I've told people for years that they'll go through latex gloves. I think people don't believe me. So now, when you de-seeded the Warthog, your hands really burned?
Yeah, they burned for about 3 days.
How many pods did it take you to get a 3-day burn?
Oh, probably a couple hours de-seeding peppers, and it went right through. And then anything that you touch, any surface is hot.
Well, so, I'm used to getting burned. I would imagine your house is the same way. Everything, if you just went to any surface and wiped it with your finger and rubbed it on your eye, you'd be in trouble.
Oh, yeah, Carla gets it all the time.
Carla's awesome. I'll tell you what. Very, very good. I have a question about your peppers. Now, this is a question. Hang on just a minute. Okay, this question comes from Keeping the Faith, okay? His question is, do you actually eat the peppers that you grow, full pods? Do you eat them? And if you do, in particular, have you eaten the Warthog? He wants to know.
Well, I make mash out of it. And
Right.
then I put the mash on food. But I can control it that way. Otherwise, I end up getting a case of gut rot. And, I
got that right now.
I'd rather be able to control it. That way you can, it's a little easier on you.
But even without eating them, just by de-seeding them, you knew you had something special?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Because I'll tell you something, Matthew. I don't know how many peppers I've eaten. I'm sure it's over 2,000 on video since I started Chase the Heat. And I've eaten some wicked hot peppers, man. But I'm not joking you. That one just, my superpower isn't eating hot stuff. There are people with higher tolerances than me. A lot of them. my superpower is that I can maintain control. I can keep talking. I don't lose my composure when I'm burning up. And that pepper shut my talker down. I couldn't talk, man. That was wicked hot. I think, and I've told you before, we've talked about this, or I think it was a rogue, because I've had several other peppers from the same plant that weren't as hot, but they're still the hottest thing I've ever eaten. They are just, do you think, let me ask you about that. Do you think what do you think about the whole rogue thing? Do you believe in it? Do you think there are rogue peppers?
No, there is a rogue pepper.
Okay. Do you think the rogue is a genetic trait? In other words, obviously, you know what I mean by that. Do you think it's something that if you happen to get seeds from a rogue pepper, is that something you think you could pass on, or is that just an anomaly?
No, I've already been collecting the seeds off the rogue pepper. It's the same. It's the same thing, and and then you just share them with people. Why not?
That's where we're going next, because we're in a very interesting time right now, because we can't really talk about, like, I believe the pepper I ate was the hottest thing, bar none, not even close. Nothing even really came close. And I'm not just saying that. I've said that on video a bunch of times. The Pepper X, all right? Pepper X came out, and it's 2.6 something million Scoville heat units. And then, he's not selling the seeds. He's not selling pods, so you can get seeds. And he's not selling powder, so you can even check how hot it is. And he's just really got a tight grip. And I'm not knocking him for doing that. He has a reason for doing that. I'm not knocking his business practices right now. Okay? It is what it is. And then you come out with a pepper that is so scorching, and then you're like, I want to give them away.
Yeah.
Where does that, to me, first of all, I love you for it. We've talked so many times about it, and it's like I think it's so admirable in a time where everybody seems to be doing one of these. You're doing this. And that's beautiful. Where does that come from?
You practice random acts of kindness. That's what you do.
There was a time in my life where I thought the greatest things in life were things that you could acquire, you could buy. You know what I mean? And I got to a place where I learned school of hard knocks, but I learned that best things in life aren't things at all that you can buy. Did you always have this random act of kindness, or did you? Okay.
I have done it since when Trinidad Scorpions and 7 Pods first came out. I remember ordering them from England, and 5 seeds cost £5. And I'm like, there's no way that everyone in the world can afford this. So I started sending people different seeds in different countries. It's just something to be nice.
Spreading the love. It must be. Let's talk about the Warthog, because you said I'm going to give them away, and we put your address in the videos. And what was the response like immediately after? What was it like?
I've never got that much mail in my life. I got overwhelmed at first, and then I decided that you can just take it one step at a time, and you
do what you can do.
You do this many envelopes and this many envelopes, and you just keep going till you whittle it down.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have a running count of how many packets you've actually sent out thus far?
No idea.
I know like a couple months ago, it was over 400. So you must have sent, it must be a spooky number at this point.
Yeah, and now I'm down to the last 43 envelopes, and we haven't got a frost yet. So,
all right. So what happened was, I think I know what happened. When you got the first initial rush, you didn't have enough seeds for everybody. So you're literally growing for the envelopes. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, do you know do you know how many countries have you? Because it's not just US. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't realize. In the US, it was very clear. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope. And everybody did it. But in different countries, there are people that say, well, I don't know how much is. I don't know much. So they just sent an envelope. And you've sent seeds, bro, to Ireland. Where else have you sent them to? You've sent them. What other countries have our warthogs now in?
Finland, New Zealand, Australia, England, China, the Philippines, Malaysia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia. There's a bunch of them.
This is all warthog.
Yeah.
Wow, man. How does it feel, though, to know that something you created is grown all over the place?
Well, it's like putting your footprints there. Where you can't go, you can put your footprints there.
And
So,
share something beautiful.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Now, so now you have more to go, and it's no frost yet. You're still working on those. I've had some people that have left comments saying I haven't got him yet. I'm like, okay, well, ask for your money back. Do that. So it's like, settle down. He's going to get to you. He's going to. Then I've had people said, oh man, I left a comment and they got to me. There are so many comments where they say thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want to thank you. I think it's awesome that you're doing that, because here's a cool thing that happened. It's maybe I'm crazy. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I probably need to, but there was a good period of time where the only thing you heard was that pepper, and then I ate that warthog, man, and then I mean, there was such an excitement. That's all anybody was talking about was the warthog. And I think it's what I'm really fired up about, and I can't wait for this. A year or two from now, or 3 from now, we're going to hear about so many really cool warthog crosses and things that people are doing. I already know about a couple of them that people are working on. That's got to be exciting. And you also sent a bunch of mash. Again, here's the crazy thing. I'm not putting you on the spot. I like you, dude. I dig you a lot. I care about you a lot. But most of the postage, you're paying for the postage to different countries.
Yeah.
Do you guys understand it? I hope everybody watching is letting that sink in. Not only is he not charging for these seeds, but he's paying out of his pocket to send them around the world. If everybody in forget the chili community, if people in the world were like you are, we wouldn't be lobbing bombs at different countries, and there wouldn't be arguments and things like that. And if everybody in the chili community, I think most of the problems in the chili community stem from a couple things: greed and ego. Those two things drive the negative aspects of the chili community, I think. And I think and you're like the opposite of that. You really are. And I admire you. I think that is so commendable. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Next year, what is your plan for the seed giveaway next year? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I remember you saying something.
Next year?
Because I know you were thinking this year was phenotype 1. I know that next year you were thinking about maybe doing phenotype 2.
Yeah, but this year, because there has been so many seeds, I've had to do phenotype 1 and phenotype 2.
Very cool.
Just, I'm doing everything I can.
Right.
Next year, I have the rogue peppers. They're already de-seeded, so they'll go in the patch by themselves.
They got my endorsement, man. I'm telling you.
So
you're going to isolate. You're going to keep them separate from others.
Yep.
Very cool. How many plants do you have?
Probably about 250 total, because that's all about a quarter acre will hold.
Right.
And that's just all the land that we have.
Right. Is it all pepper all the time?
The whole backyard is pepper all the time.
Nice. All right. So now, are you still getting requests even now for warthog seeds?
Yeah, I still get envelopes in the mail.
So to anybody who hasn't got them yet, the message is be patient. They're coming.
Yeah, and if I run out, I will send them something really good. And I'm not chintzy about my seeds.
No, I've
I
had
don't,
everybody has said they're blown away by how much they're getting from you.
you know, that's just what a regular seed pack is to me. You know, that's so you do the best that you can,
Uh,
and then you make up for it in other ways.
yeah, amen. Well, I'll tell you something. To me, it's just nobody's talking about that other pepper anymore. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about the whole thing. I'm just glad that I got it on video because I've only eaten 4 rogue peppers in my life, and a couple of them. There's a couple that aren't on video. I'm so glad that that was a video of that because if I said how hot it was, I couldn't talk. They'd be like, "Yeah, whatever." I mean, I never watch videos that I'm in unless I'm with my brother and I'm hurting him or something. But I've watched that video at least 3 or 4 times, and man, it just that was a wicked, wicked pepper.
Mhm.
Brings up the next question. This is a question from Disney Dragon asks, "What's the funniest story you've heard about people eating peppers you've grown?"
I've had people that they will never take a pepper from me again. I mean, that was like at working at Sunny Border. We had a lot of people from different countries there. And I'd say, yeah, I'd tell them that the way to get in is to eat one of my peppers, which, you know,
That's
was kind,
cruel.
it was kind of a tall tale. But nobody there would take a pepper from me.
That's too funny. Well, word gets around, man. I'm sure of it. What's your favorite type of music?
Rock and roll,
Favorite band?
Leonard Skinner.
Nice. I wish I had a lighter. Very, very nice. All right. So, all right. This is another really interesting question from Dizzy Dragon. This one may make you think a little bit. If you could bring any famous person back from the dead, from the like famous historical, to try one of your peppers, who would it be and why?
Who would it be and why?
Yep.
It would be Marilyn Monroe because she did that movie, Some Like It Hot. So
Do you know
that's
what?
who I'd do.
I said in a video I was on, I don't know if it was yesterday, the day before, that was the first woman I fell in love with. I was a little kid. And I remember watching her. I remember thinking, very, very good. That's a perfect answer. Now, you wouldn't make her eat a whole pepper, would you?
Yeah,
Have a long
definitely.
conversation with her first, though, because she wouldn't want to talk to you after that. All right. So, of the peppers that you have grown and that you've created, your creations, do you have like your favorite, or are they like children? You love them all equally. Which is your favorite?
My favorite? Oh, Wartryx has been around for a long time. Daisy cutters have been around for a long time. And warthogs have been around for a good while. And I like the dado pepper too.
Right. Um, Now, do you cook with peppers frequently?
Not too frequently. I usually
Really?
just, yeah, I usually just put the mash on the side
Yeah,
and get it.
I
That
got
way
you.
that I can get it as hot as I want.
Right, I got you. Control. You got your foot on the throttle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, Now you've been part of the chili community for long time. How much do you? Tell me how it's changed in your mind. How do you see the changes in the past decade or two?
A lot of it's money motivated. Um, y- Money got carried away with it, where less people could enjoy it. You know, like a lot of countries, you can't they can't afford to buy really expensive peppers. So that's where I try and make a difference.
Do you have a part of the world where you're most passionate about as far as sending your peppers?
I like Asia.
I thought you were going to say that.
I like Ukraine, Czechoslovakia. Australia's real nice. New Zealand. Never been to Malaysia, but they're real nice to me there.
So I mean, your name is everywhere, man. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. All right. So one of the questions was, you already answered, like what motivated you to give it away, but it sounds to me like the more greed you see is the more of a motivation for you to just give more away.
Uh-huh.
Is Carla behind the camera laughing at you?
Yep.
Carla,
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm babysitting
You babysitting?
the dog.
Yeah. Are you gonna come in and say hi real quick and say hi to everybody? You don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot. Everybody, there's Carla Arthur. Carla, thank you for, you know what? You're a great support for Matthew. And, you know, a while back, he got that bump on the head. I was like going to try to force you to take him to the doctor, but you're wonderful and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take this rowdy dog back here before he gets started.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping in and saying hello at least.
All righty.
All right. So you said, so the change is mostly kind of stems about, it's all money related, the change that you've seen in the community.
Yeah, most of it. I see what people charge for boxes of peppers, and I just that's not me.
You're not a fan of the whole monetary system, bro.
No, I'm not.
We're gonna talk about it. I've said to Matthew in the past, I'm gonna send you some money. How much can I pay? He's like, I'm not taking your money. I'm like, come on, dude. So recently I sent you like $100 worth of stamps. I'm like, well, here, if you won't take money, at least take these stamps, and so you can offset some of the what you're spending. Mm-hmm. But man, you're just a good soul. You know that? I appreciate you.
I do try.
You're doing a good thing. All right. So, okay, I was going to ask if you're a dog or a cat person. Seeing the dog, one could guess that you're going to side that way, but I bet you like both. You like all animals.
Yeah.
You seem like you're really in touch with nature. Am I reading you clear?
You're reading me very clear.
There you go. Excellent. So the first super hot you ever ate, what was it?
First super hot I ever ate was a scorpion.
Wicked hot pepper. What year was that?
Ooh, that's a long time ago. What I call a long time ago and what other people call a long time ago. I don't know. Scorpions, I think they've been out for a little over 20 years.
It's been a minute. That's very cool. So, I just had a great question in my head that I didn't write down. I forgot it. I scroll off. How big is your grow going to be next year? About 250 again?
About 250 again. That way I can separate the varieties.
Do you have some secret projects you aren't talking about?
Yes.
Nice. I like to hear that. I'll be asking you about them later. I won't tell anybody. I keep secrets. I won't harass you about it. So how many secret projects? You have some really good ones?
3.
Now, are these peppers that you're going for flavor? Or are they just piping hot? What are you shooting for?
Well, one's going to be piping hot. I know that.
Okay.
Another one is mostly for flavor. And the other one's piping hot.
Nice. Well, I'm excited about that. How deep into the project are you? If I can ask. You don't have to answer it. I don't want you to show too many cards.
One I'm 5 years into. The other one I'm about 3 years into, and the other one I'm about 2 years into.
That's exciting. Got a question from Dale Cox. All right. He asks, Matthew, how long does it take to grow from seed to pod on the Warthog? What do you estimate it?
I started them in the greenhouse in late January. And you were the first person that I sent them to.
Wicked hot, man. I'm telling you. So I ate that one. What was it? What month was it? I can't remember.
I
It was
can't.
was it July or August?
July, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it was July. It was a matter of fact, I think I may have got them at the tail end of June, but I didn't get the really hot Warthog until July. So that'll give you a bit of an idea. Thank you for the question, Dale. Appreciate that. Here's a good question from Noah Wright. What was the very first pepper you grew and crossed?
Very first pepper I grew and crossed. Comstock purple.
The Comstock purple. Very
Yeah.
cool.
And then
Now what is that? Tell me the genetics on the Comstock purple, if you don't mind.
Comstock purple was, oh shoot. It was one of them Japanese peppers. I think they start with a S.
I gotcha.
And a like a purple Thai pepper. And they came out more, they were almost a black color.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And that was, how long ago was that now?
That was at Sunny Border, so it's been a while. I lose track of the years.
Right. I do too. Listen, trust me, I do.
You know, it's like a fuzz. Different jobs.
One of the things I'm doing, I wrote a book recently. I know I talked to you about it, but one of the things I'm changing is in the beginning of each chapter, I'm going to put a rough idea of the year and how old we were, so they can, in your head, you can kind of see it as we go. I'm struggling. Every chapter, I'm like, hey man, what year was this? It's really bad. It's terrible. I got a great question from Dean from Conjured Vapors. Matthew, is there a Warthog cross that would scare you to eat?
That would scare me to eat? I suppose you mixed a Warthog with one of those, what are they? RSVPs or a chocolate primatale?
Right.
That would be a wicked hot pepper.
Yeah, but I promise you right now, Matthew, I promise you, with how many Warthog seeds you've sent out, I promise you there's probably 50 people that are doing a primatale Warthog cross. Just about sure of it. I'd bet on it if I could. That's what I'm saying. In a few years, there's going to be some very, very exciting crosses out there. It's very cool. You've made a lot of friends globally. And if you're all about the paying it forward, you got some karma coming your way that's just in spades. It's beautiful. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, who's joined us. If you could, hit that like button. It'll push it out in the algorithm and we get more people to watch us. This is a fun interview. Looking to see if there are any more good questions from people watching. I'll get back to my own in just a minute. All right. So if you have any more questions, guys, if you have questions, throw 3 Qs at the head of the question. It'll be easier to stand. It'll stand out better. All right. So, Harvest 912 really loves you. They really do, man. You sent them a bunch of mash. They made some great sauce. They made a challenge out of it. They really dig you. Do you anticipate doing any more work with them moving forward?
Yeah.
It's a great cause what they do, man. They've, given shoes away. It's just an amazing thing for people that are less fortunate,
It is.
Here's an interesting question. I don't even know if you want to, I don't even know well, I know you can. I don't know if you want to. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
What is the process of creating the Warthog? Like, how do you do it? How'd you do it?
The bees do it. It's the way you plant.
So
You
it was
know,
a bee. So the bees handled it. You arranged the meeting. They made it happen.
that's right. That's
So you
how
just
I've done every pepper, and it works every time.
well, let me tell you something. You know what they say? How you get animals to mate in zoos? You put them together.
Yep.
That's how it happens. So that's your magic. Perfect. I love it.
Yep. I've never took the credit for it. I've always gave the bees the credit.
That's
Every
awesome.
pepper.
What a great answer, man. I love that. Now, Keith Lego says, well, did you get the seeds I sent you?
Yeah.
So you excellent. Yeah, you must have seeds coming for you from a bunch of places. It can't be the only one.
You know, there's
Very
been
cool.
bunch that came.
This is a very interesting question from Vinny Paz the goat. Ready? All
Yep.
right. So, what was the mother plant of the warthog? Or was the warthog Wartryx or the primo? I guess would you even know?
Well, the Wartryx was planted in the middle, and then it had 4 of the primos surrounded by it.
No way. That's awesome.
So, which is, you know,
Yeah, it's two heads. It's both heads of the same coin. You know, both
and
sides.
then you just grow them out and you see what you get, and then you pick your shapes and you keep doing it year after year.
Do you know what's funny? I hear all these people that are saying they're doing crosses or doing this. I've seen people use paintbrushes in videos, and I snicker at that. But I'll tell you something: the crosses that I know for sure, like Chad Selesky with the chocolate primatale, it was an accidental cross in his backyard, or not primatale, excuse me, the chocolate bootla. That was Chad Selesky. I don't know if Chris Saunders that did the chocolate primatale, if that was intentional, if it was the same idea. But I'm telling you, if I was going to try to do a cross, that's the method I would do. I would stick a plant in the middle, and I would surround it by what I was trying to cross it with. Just a whole bunch of them. And just the odds got to be it. It's got to connect.
Yeah, whether the winds do it or the bees do it, something's going to happen in there. I mean,
And that must make it fun when you grow the next year.
yeah, because you get to see what starts popping up.
One of the great things about the Wartrix that I've always just loved is not the Wartrix. Yeah, the Wartrix is one of the most, and the Daisy Cutter too. They're one of the most amazing, most satisfying crunches of any pepper. I mean, the crunch factor of the Wartrix is ridiculous. I love
Yeah.
that. It's like chewing on an apple almost. It's really, really cool. All right, so are you much of a guy that likes traveling? Like
If
going to
I
different.
could, I would.
Where would your bucket dream like if you could go anywhere on the planet, one trip? Where'd you go?
One trip, Spain.
Nice, very cool. Just from the history of it, or is there anything in particular that makes you say that?
No, because we lived there for 4 years, and the people were so nice there. I don't know how it is now. This is a long, long time ago, but they were the nicest people. They were.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you went to these places, like I think of all the countries you rattled off when we were talking about where you've sent the warthog. If you went to any of those countries, they would roll out a carpet for you. You're a good man, dude. You're doing some good things in a world where very few people are doing good things. So it's very, very cool. All right. So this is a really weird question. Do you think the chili community is broken? And if it is, how would you fix it? What's it going to take to fix it?
One person can make a difference.
Amen. And with kindness, right? Choose love.
Yep. I mean, all it takes is one person, because then another person wants to do something nice, and it kind of spreads, and
Yeah.
it breaks all the monotony of it all up.
Yeah. We gotta get back to the fun of it. You know what I mean? Well,
That's
I
it.
started this channel because I want to have fun, but I wanted to share what my passion, and that was really the goal. You know what I didn't do? How about that? Is that a little better? Anyway, I'm that it's still fun for me. You know what I mean? So I think we need to get back to that. You know what I mean? All right. So what's your favorite kind of food?
Thai.
Thai. Nice. Thai is very good. Well, you know what? I've gone to the Philippines a few times. The food there, it was probably the best part of the experience there. The food was, the other thing, it wasn't just good food. Like in America, a meal is a pit stop where you're just going to eat and fuel up and go on to the next thing. There, I don't care if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It is an event. I mean, lunch is going to take 2 hours. It's just the way it is. And you would never, if you would go to a restaurant, you never order your own, like a meal for you. It's what are we all going to share? And that's how it is it's just, I really love that. It's a cool thing. It's more communal, Very cool. All right. So outside of Chili's, you got any cool hobbies?
Lapidary work.
Say that again.
Lapidary. I cut stones.
Very well. You know what? Being where you live, isn't it almost like one of the gem capitals of the U.S.? Is like you walk around, they're just sticking out of the ground, right?
Yeah, you can go up to Mount Ida and you can go mining crystals, or you can go to Murfreesboro and try and find diamonds. North Carolina has a lot of really cool stones there too.
Right. So I've seen pictures, and I've seen some pictures you've sent. Do you go out and look for them, or like are there certain places? Like I know, like I was a little kid on the East Coast, and there was one river where they claimed there was gold, and I was a little Boy Scout. We all went there and looked for it. Is there certain areas where it's better for certain gems?
Yeah, we go right to the mines, and if I can't go to the mine, I will order the stone and I will cut the stone, and then I'll wire wrap it and stuff.
Oh, so you make jewelry out of it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Very awesome. A lot of turquoise.
Yeah, a lot of turquoise.
Very cool. I love it. All right, so Dale. Oops, hold on. Dale Moore asks, how many peppers has Matthew Arthur created to this day?
I would put it at around probably over 20 varieties.
That's awesome. You got a technique that works. What do you know by chance what the daisy cutter tests at Scoville units, or is that not something you even worry about?
None of my peppers have ever been tested. Not a one.
I got news for you, man. The Warthog doesn't need to be. I'm scared to death of it. It's a wicked hot pepper. I'll tell you, eating it with Tad was really, you've seen that video. Uh-huh. Tad put that in his mouth. And I mean, if you watch him, it's less than 5 seconds. And you can tell right away, he's like, uh-oh. You know what's funny about that video, Matthew? Before that video, he had never had fire hose and he had never had an endorphin dump. And he's like, he thought he was impervious to it. Like he couldn't get an endorphin rush. I'm like, whatever. And that pepper, that one Warthog gave him an endorphin rush and fire hose.
Yeah, they'll do that too.
My cramps are over. When I started this stream, Matthew, I was cramping up bad from what I ate earlier. I flew too close to the sun and got my wings melted. But they're finally going away. I'm feeling much better now. Let's see if there are any more good questions from the people watching. Vinny Paz the Goat says, where does Matthew Arthur live?
In Arkansas. Hot Springs.
In Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's a beautiful place.
It is nice.
I'm not even going to read this comment. I'm just going to snicker at it for just a second. Snicker, 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 snicker. And moving on. All right. So, let's see. Here we go. Pepper Poppy. Matthew, Emily and I are hoping to have a son when they get to the U.S., she asked me about names. Can I name him after you, please? I was thinking Evan or Aaron Matthew.
All right, you're welcome to.
Well, I'm so glad I saw that. You know what, though? Listen, he's such a giving dude. If that instill those qualities, Those are good qualities. Pepper Poppy, what a great comment. Aren't you glad we did this interview, man?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a good time. I hope you are.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
so let's see if there are any more good questions. I got a few more. Well, if you got any more questions you're thinking of, toss them in there. I may have scrolled past a couple good ones. Okay, I know that you obviously have mash. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I've seen it. But do you make your own hot sauce, or is it just mash that you can add?
It's just mash. I've mailed it to other people to make hot sauce out of. I mean, hot sauce isn't something I've really ever fooled with. I bought a lot of it, but,
Right.
you know, I just, I'm not a professional at that, and I don't claim to be. I'll make them the mash and let them do their thing.
Well, let me tell you this. Tad and Kit said the mash you, Kit especially, said the mash you sent was, she loved it just like that. She really, really liked it. But Tad said that that pepper, the Warthog, was the worst bird I've ever experienced. Thanks for that, Matthew.
Oh, he's welcome.
That was funny, man. I'll tell you what, he lost his sense of humor for a while there. I was laughing my skull off. I feel bad. I was laughing my head off, and things got real serious for him real quick. That's a hot pepper, man. All right, so Josh Cohen asked, "How old are you?" I think he answered earlier, Josh. You may not have been there. You were 60, correct?
Correct.
Looks like is great for 60, man, for real. Here's a great question from Turk Sachs Peppers. What is your best life advice, Matthew, that you would give us all? Because you seem like a guy loaded with wisdom. You do.
Be happy. Just be happy. Enjoy life. Don't get caught up in drama. It'll keep you young longer.
Well, you're doing something right, Matthew. You really are. That's for sure. Dizzy Dragon asks, favorite species? Anum, chinin, spicatum? What do you prefer? What's your favorite? That's a great question.
I mean, I've ate the pubescens, or however you say it. I've ate the fruitkins, the Tabasco pepper.
Right?
I
Fruitagen.
like that. I like the Chinese. I like the anum. I don't know. There really isn't a good answer. I like them all.
I know. I'm that way. I do.
I like stuffing jalapenos, poblanos.
Do you like Fresnos?
I don't think I've ever ate too many of them.
It's pretty good pepper. I like it. It's good. It's about 2,500 to about 10,000 Scoville. So it's a nice pepper. I like it. That's one of the rare peppers I've had a rogue with. I've had a rogue with that one, but it wasn't anything near that one I had that day. You know, it was weird after I ate that pepper. I swear to you, it haunted me for like 3 days. I kept thinking about it. I mean, I'm serious. It was just because here's the weird thing. I've eaten so many peppers. I thought, I kind of had an idea of what I knew an idea of what I was going to experience, and it was just so much more than I was expecting. It was really unexpected. That was a great pepper, man. Thank you for that experience. That was wonderful.
You're welcome. Not a problem.
Here's a great question from the swear word. Brandon says, what is the most favorite gem find? Great question.
Rubies.
You found rubies?
Oh, yeah, in North Carolina.
No way.
Yeah, up in, where is it at? Little Switzerland, you find ruby or emeralds in. And then, oh gosh, Jacob's Ruby Mine. That's where I was at. And we were finding rubies, little sapphires, a lot of garnets, but were good garnets.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of those, though, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll just look down and see a rock. Like, I'm serious. I've seen diamonds, rough diamonds before they're cut. And if you don't know what you're doing, you would throw those out. You wouldn't even, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But once they're cut, it's like, oh, okay, there's something different. Are a lot of gems like that?
Well, the gems, they run them down a slough, so it's wet. So in the
I got you.
sunlight, you can pick out the colors.
Oh, I got you. They kind of stick out, sparkle. Very cool. Look at this. Lego says, I happen to be a sauce maker. Master, he says even, and I live in Arkansas. I'll make sauce for you.
Really?
He lives close to you, in fact. He says he'll do it, and I'm going to hold him to it.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I'll hold him to it too.
Good,
Because I have more in the refrigerator. I have a big old jug of it, and he can make plenty of it.
See how I'm the deal maker. This is a good thing. Beautiful. I love it. Lego, you may have to send me a bottle of what you make. I like the sound of that. Okay, so Burn Daily asks, what is your favorite all-time pepper? Whether you make it or not, what's your favorite all-time pepper? Whether you make it.
Favorite all-time pepper. Stuffed jalapenos.
Stuffed jalapenos, they're great.
Yeah, because I can put them on sandwiches. I can eat them by themselves. I can eat them anytime during the day, and I never get tired of them.
Yep. Like today was a stupid mistake. I usually have my act together. I didn't prep enough, and then right before about an hour before this started, I was like starting to cramp up. I'm like, no way. I thought I was going to be okay, but I'm starting to feel a little better. Got to practice, but hang on 1 second if you could. Give me guys 1 second. I'm going to throw up a photo real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. Hey. Sorry. All right, I'm back. Let me shut this door. All right, so let me see if we have any more questions. Any more questions? Fire them out. He asked did you see what happened to Dennis Nursery from the hurricane? Did you see that? I did not.
Did I see what happened from the hurricane in Florida?
Dennis's nursery, apparently, it sounds like they took a beating. I did not see that.
What, Tropicflora?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Florida's just taking a beating this season. There's been a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen, if it's Tropicflora, if it's the same Dennis as I know, I worked there for a while.
No way. Maybe we'll reach out and check them out. Tom, if you can put an update, that'd be good. Spirit Prop says, greetings, Johnny and Matt, the fellow bus riders. I put my first Warthog seeds in the soil today. Super excited, and I can't thank you enough, Matt. How cool is that?
You're welcome.
That's a very cool thing. Let me see here. All right, so when you do your stuffed jalapenos, you prefer ripe ones for stuffed?
Yeah, red. I like them red.
Yep. They taste better that way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. There's so many people that don't know that that's the color that, they mature to red because everybody sees them green. Let's see here. We'll figure something out. Bizzle says, can you sell me a little mash? I can tell you right now, Matthew won't sell you any mash because he's not that guy, but I can figure out a way to get you some. He's a great guy. He's a chilihead.
All he's got to do is pay the postage on it, and I'll send it out.
How good is that? All right, so big question. And if you have any final questions, you guys put them in the chat. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Big question. What's the future? Any big plans for the future for you and Carla? What are you guys doing? What are the plans?
Oh, same thing. There's not. Life's not always easy, especially when you got a lot of hardware in your body. The things that you can actually do now are challenging. So it's just getting by, trying to stay healthy, keeping happy, not being around any drama, and doing the same thing.
Well, we heard the best advice tonight, guys. Be happy. Let's all be happy. Let's work at that. It doesn't look like there are any more final questions. If there are, I missed them. You know what, Matthew Arthur, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really, really enjoyed talking with you. You're a good dude. I love your heart. I love that you're just such a generous, giving person. I think it's what the world needs. It's certainly what the chili community needs.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
It was fun. And thank you, everybody that was in the chat that watched us tonight. Thank you. I appreciate your let me say goodbye to everybody. Before we say goodbye, let me say everybody that I can see in the chat currently. Then we'll say goodbye after that. Hang on. We got Bizzle, Balaki, Brock Bandy, Burn Daily, Chili Phil, Conjured Vapors, Chili Manuel Detendo, Dale Cox, Dizzy Dragon, Flaming Koala, Galactic Yachts, Heat Seeker Pepper Eater. I'm nobody special, but you are. JT, we've got J Caps, Jason Pahura, Just Me Being Me, Keaton West, Keith Lego, Mischief Managed, Narfman, Pepper Poppy, Primitive, Lifeways, Rick Spicer, Spirit Prop, The Dean, The Swear Word, Tom Broom, Turkax Peppers, Veggie Beard, Vinny Paz the Goat, and West Lightburn. I appreciate you guys being here. And Veggie Beard, I see you. Thank you so much, Matthew. So everybody have a great night. And we'll see you guys next time on After the Burn.